Hey, legendary family, and today we're gonna do another horrific truth. It's Ben 10K versus Omniman. Or, matter of fact, let's talk about this from Ben 10 in general. But if you guys don't know what's been going on, with the whole Ben 10K versus Omniman situation, apparently someone did a versus matchup between the two, and then the Omniman fanboys kind of just said, oh, well, Ben 10K would get Speed Blitz because he doesn't have the reaction. And it's just like, well, the Omnitrix has the reaction time to, well, I don't know, counter the Big Bang, and Ben 10K would be upscaled from that. It's pretty simple here. But again, the whole Speed Blitz, that Omni-Man has the killer mentality that he could one-shot most of Ben's aliens is very preferable in the versus community. But, yeah, here we go again with another Omni-Man, I guess you could say, get spited video, right? I mean, I don't know how many people really think Omni-Man could beat Superman, but apparently there's a bunch of them that actually think that. Crazy, ain't it? Meanwhile, Omni-Man only has, like, one possible scaling for, like, universal. And again, I'm saying possibly because we don't know how long it took for Omnipotus to absorb his entire universe. But again, the scaling goes as this. Omni-Man was able to draw blood from a much stronger Thrag when Dinosaurus couldn't do anything to a much weaker Thrag, but he was able to bite the head off of Omnipotus, who was able to absorb his universe. But the question is, though, did he absorb his universe, or did he absorb all the energy within his universe? And also, how long did that take? We also know Viltrumites are not consistent in the verse, especially Omni-Man and Invincible. With Invincible, post this Omnipotus arc, or post the the whole Omnipotus thing, was dying within the sun. Like, his skin was tearing off of him. And we're supposed to believe that Ben 10K couldn't handle it. Like, y'all do know he upscales from Kid Ben and Teenage Ben. Because if you guys really think about it, he is going to end up with the Omnitrix one way or another. Not the Ultimatrix, not the Bio Omnitrix, because those count as alternate futures. However, the timeline he's going to pretty much have here, or at least the future he's going to have here, is the one where he has master control. And again, Ben 10K has mastered his aliens. From Clockwork, who can merge entire timelines and reverse the Chronosapien time bomb. You have Feedback, who can absorb the energy of a Big Bang and launch it at his opponent. You have Alien X, who's basically God here. But again, he doesn't need him, and he doesn't even really need those aliens specifically for, Omni-Man. I see a lot of people put him, Way Big, Atomics, Feedback, Clockwork, Way Big. And he really doesn't. He doesn't need those guys at all. As a matter of fact, I think Atomics would actually be a lot worse because he could just, I guess you say, slowly kill him because he can create miniature suns. But again, he doesn't need those aliens at all. He doesn't even need Way Big. Ben can exploit a lot of Omni-Man's weaknesses. And in my honest opinion, all he really needs to do, he could turn into Big Chill, Ghost Freak, or Pesky Dust. Yeah, I actually would argue Pesky Dust because, again, what's his resistance to dream manipulation? Heck, Diamond Head himself, right, has better planetary feats than Omni-Man and Invincible. Matter of fact, the whole Viltrumite race combined. This man was able to seal and go toe-to-toe with Maltruant and a Maltruant-amped Vilgax, or Malgax. Keep in mind, Maltruant had the energy, or at least the power, to destroy Galvan B, which was basically the moon to Galvan 1, but I think the moon was also stated to be much bigger than ours, or probably close to the size of Earth, so it's really one of those two. Keep in mind that Ben has also used aliens that could beat Ultimate aliens like Shock Squatch being able to beat Ultimate Echo, who was able to beat Ultimate Kevin, who should have the durability of Armadillo, Energy, Diamond Head, forearms, humongosaur, way big, and etc. Meaning that his durability should be well beyond the levels of planetary or well beyond star level. You could argue solar system, galaxy, heck, you can even say universal if you want to. I'll give y'all that. Let's also not forget that Gwen figured out that Heat Blast, as pretty much a child or a baby, could pretty much throw a tantrum so bad that it can cause his flames to reach supernova levels. Now, I want y'all to think about that, right? A baby Pyro Knight can reach supernova levels casually. Like an average tantrum from a toddler can actually go into the results of them being able to reach supernova temperatures. And again, Ben 10K has mastered his aliens. There's no if, and, or buts about this. He would burn the flesh from Omni-Man's bones. He would cook him to a crisp. And again, he doesn't need that much power to really defeat Omni-Man. Like, I'm not even going to get into the combos that Ben 10K had. Spitter and Buzzshock. Like, Stinkfly and Heat Blast. Because apparently Stinkfly's saliva or slime is actually volatile and very explosive, which is actually something pretty interesting I found out myself. And again, for those of you who say he doesn't have the killer intent, did y'all see Vilgax? Like, even he said there really wasn't much left of him. Like, so Ben, whatever alien Ben used, mauled the mess out of Vilgax. Because I don't even think Wild Mutt has that dog in him. I don't think he has that much dog in him to maul Vilgax of that effort. Maybe he went like a berserk version of Humongosaur or something, but at the end of the day, it is what it is here. Keep in mind that Viltrumites are also susceptible to sonic attacks and chemical warfare. Now, you guys might be thinking, oh, well, Legendary, could you please tell me what aliens in the Omnitrix could possibly use those weaknesses and not get one-shotted? And I'll tell you this, even if Omni-Man could hypothetically or theoretically one-shot one of these aliens, oh, it's gonna backfire on him. Now you might say, what aliens am I going to use here? Now, again, if you guys pay attention to the Ben 10 verse as a whole, you guys should know that Ben has, I think two aliens that can use a sonic attack in both Echo Echo and Blitzwurfer. Unless I'm missing one, please let me know. And I know he can also use chemical warfare with someone like Gut Rot. Yeah. I think Gut Rot is exactly the alien that fits for dealing with someone like Omni-Man. And I mean, in case you're saying that this wouldn't work, right? I want y'all to keep in mind that Gut Rot has full knowledge of the chemical compositions for any alien. Despite the fact that Ben has never known these chemical concoctions, he is still able to do it. This man made a chemical that would basically turn on female Toku stars. And I think that's scary. I think that is the scariest thing you could probably do to anything. But again, if it works, it works. He can also emit poisonous gas and knockout gas. So imagine if push comes to shove and Ben 10K decides to, well, I guess I gotta put him down. What is to really stop him from doing something like using Diamond Head to create a dome around him and Omni-Man, or maybe using something like Jet Ray to prevent him from escaping, grabbing him with Humongosaur, using Diamond Head as they go down and create the dome, like I said earlier, right? And then him using Gut Rot to use this acidic chemical to finish him. Let's not forget Ben 10 also has many intangible aliens. Some of them which can just turn into energy and just fry Omni-Man's neurological system. And then you have other aliens like Ghost Freak and, oh my gosh, especially Big Chill, with him being able to freeze somebody from the inside out until they shatter. Someone that can freeze metal on such a level that it'll shatter like glass, which is, I think that's actually sub-zero temperatures. And if he's actually able to change the composition of someone into full ice, that would actually require atomic level freezing, because he's changing their not their very being into ice, like he's, using molecular manipulation, but he's freezing them on such a level that they no longer have like the structural integrity of a normal thing, of like a normal solid object. They're basically like glass, or basically just like fragile ice at that point. And again, this could require subatomic levels of freezing, which is something that Big Chill can emit normally. And again, going back to the sonic attacks, Echo Echo can clone himself an infinite number of times. There's no limit to it, as stated by the late Dwayne McDuffie himself. Rest in peace. And again, what's to stop a wall of sound? Omni-Man could just try to speed blitz Ben, and then all of a sudden he turns into Echo Echo and hits him with a wall of sound. What's to stop him from surrounding Omni-Man in a city full of Echo Echoes and him hitting him with basically like a sonic cage or something, just absolutely messing up Omni-Man's hearing? Like, think about it. What's to really stop him? What's to stop him from using Echo Echo and then turning into 3 different Bens, and then those 3 different Bens just start jumping him? And again, he doesn't need these kind of aliens either. He can use Blitzwolfer and just straight up like outmaneuver. And again, he would probably be able to one-shot him, because Kevin 11,000 actually used Blitzwolfer to crack Diamond Head's Tatanite, or pretty much crack Diamond Head himself, which was able to do the Maltruant feat, like I said earlier. So again, what chances does Omni-Man really have here? Oh, let's not forget Tolpic, who has fear manipulation. Yeah, how's Omni-Man getting past that? Oh, well, he could probably just, speed blitz and hit somebody, okay? And these aliens have, like, remarkable levels of durability. They even scale off of each other and are able to use their attacks in combination. And again, this is just me not even going over the failsafe, which just allows Ben to basically never die. Like, this man took a big bang to the face, something that should have literally wiped him out of existence, and came back. Now, you might say, oh, well, what about the Chronio Sapien time bomb? Well, that was basically his canon event. It was meant to happen. It was destined to happen. And again, you know what's funny? The universe itself, or the multiverse itself, basically put him right back to where he was. So at the end of the day here, what can we really say about this matchup? Number one, it's very one-sided. Even if you want to use like the, the Invincible War crossover, or the Supreme crossover that Omni-Man had, it's not going to matter. It really isn't. Ben has way too many hexes. He has way too many abilities. And again, with Ben 10K, he has so much experience that he knows how to combine his aliens. For example, remember the fight with Dr. Animal? Where Animal thought he pinned him down as far as, and then he turned into Spitter and then overpowered him? Again, and then he followed up with turning into Buzzshock while Animal was still covered in Spitter's saliva or whatever, and electrocuted him. Showing that Ben not only knows how to combine his aliens perfectly, but knows how to use them in rapid succession at the speed of thought, which in the Ben 10 verse would be faster than light, because his Omnitrix can actually go off, or at least change him, in a nanosecond, because that's actually how fast the Big Bang was, apparently. So I don't know, that's what it says on Google or the internet, so it is what it is here. But anyway, please comment down below, like and subscribe and share with your friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I hope y'all have a blessed day. Peace.